Dear friends, parents, and my dear teachers, we are still in the lockdown period. Perhaps tomorrow or day after tomorrow there will be some relaxation on certain areas for the convenience of the entire people and the nation. But otherwise, we are still in the lockdown period. And as far as we know, the major activities like gatherings of people, educational activities, religious activities, political activities, etc., will not be allowed for some more time. And UGC has already given advice to the states and the colleges and schools, colleges and higher education institutions that they can prepare only the syllabus of the academic calendar after September. So that is the situation. I am sure that schools also will continue to function as it is today through online classes and many other activities. So these days we have been dealing with various topics of relevance. Today I would like to share with you something about girls' education in India. It's a very important topic we need to understand and discuss. So very few points I will say. That is, the education is very important for both boys and girls, but girls' education is much more important in the sense society must pay more attention, more encouragement must be shown, more incentive must be given to girls to get educated, because girls' education is indeed the need of the hour. And without educating girls, a country cannot progress. And it says, it is like sowing the seed. If you educate a girl, their education is like seed which gives rise to green, cheerful, and a full-grown family tree. It is said that if we educate a man, we are educating only a man. But if we educate a woman, we educate the whole family. This highlights the importance of a girl's education, especially Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was very clear about this, and all the talks he used to talk, girls' education was important for a progressive nation, 2020 must be an egalitarian society, etc. So when we look at the history of India, we see girls' education was primarily given importance very early as Vedic period itself. We also have, when the East India Company was here, in 1854, Wood's Dispatch has given women's employment and education as a priority. We also have in 1878, Calcutta University, which was the first university given admission to girls for graduation courses. It's very significant to note that 1878 Calcutta University has admitted girls for higher education. Now, why the girls' education is important in the context today? Why we are talking about? Because if educated girls are there, they will educate the future generation also. Because the more you are educated, a girl is educated, the girl will give their generation also good quality education. It also decreases the mortality rate, because children of educated women are less likely to die before their first birthday. Primary education alone helps reduce infant mortality significantly. The secondary education helps even more. So that means the education has to be given to the girls so that the mortality rate will come down. Another important aspect of the advantage of girls' education is this, that it will have maternal mortality rate also will come down, because educated women more about hygienic, they know about healthcare, they know they are less likely to die during pregnancy, etc., because they take care of themselves, they know what it is. And decrease of child marriage also will happen, because the more educated girls will not allow themselves to be in a younger age itself to be married and ruined their life. They will not allow. Therefore, child marriage can be abolished only through girls' education. And it also helps, if girls are educated, the population explosion also will come down substantially, because girls will be educated, they will not allow themselves to be married at a younger age, etc. Then another important aspect is that educated girls will enter into political sphere also. So socio-political changes will take place when both women and men participate in the political process, especially in a democratic country like ours. And we have enough examples of this, and we have examples of political leaders, very very sensitive leaders, very good leaders, like New Zealand Prime Minister. You must have seen recently the attack against the attack on a worshipping place by a particular group. All other countries would have been in a different way they reacted, but this lady, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, very compassionately dealt with the situation, and she considered every human being as important. So humanness is shown much more in such leaders, like Angela Merkel in Germany. When the inflow of the refugees came from Central Asia, we call the Middle East, and they not Central Asia, Middle East. Germany was one of the first countries to welcome the refugees and given them all the privileges. This will also help in a country like ours. If girls are educated, the militancy level will come down, because girls will not support militancy. So therefore that's another area which we need to look into, and it is very important for us to improve the country's overall picture, polity. Socio-economic growth also will be possible when the girls participate in activities of the nation building. Now we have examples like Kerala. There is a wonderful example, you must have heard about this, called Kudumbasri. And now Kudumbasri is more than 34 lakhs or 36 lakhs women came together, and they are in every village, every like self-help groups we are. Much more than that, it is an empowering group which takes care of their own needs. They give financial help, they make it their existence much more relevant and much more cooperative way. And this coronavirus time itself, the community kitchen, most of the community kitchens are run by Kudumbasri. The Kerala government has given them the responsibility, and they're doing very well. That's what we hear. And also they also have financial support. They can take loan, they can give whenever there is somebody in need, they will help. And all socio-political realms, Kudumbasri is participating so well. I think women's education will increase such activities all over India, and I think that's very important. And what are the reasons behind not getting girls education? One of the reasons is a lot of indifferent attitudes and practices against girl child, including their health and well-being. All over the country, if you look at India as a whole, we'll see some states are performing well in this area, some states are not performing so well. We also have illiterate parents, especially in the rural belt, etc. Illiterate parents are not aware of this. They only go with immediate needs and immediate gain, and they see that girls are not going to help them because they will be parai, they will go to somebody else's house, therefore they don't give enough importance to. I have seen girls and boys in a family were treated discriminately. For example, the boys will go to English medium schools, and the same family girls will be sent to the government medium, government schools, etc. It shows that parents are not very much interested in educating their girls, at least in some places. We also have financial constraints for the parents. When we blame the parents, we must understand there are financial constraints also to educate their girls in a faraway place, etc. They have to spend a lot of money. They may not have it. And girls take up domestic responsibilities, looking after their younger ones, looking after the household activities when the parents are out, etc. So that way they get involved in, and they will continue to be in the four walls of the houses where they are. And parental support are also less for the girls. They support more of boys. We have seen such examples all over. Discrimination on various bases like caste and religion, for example. We have seen it, I don't need to explain. We know in India what is happening. So much of discrimination in the name of caste and religion these days we see. And therefore what happened, there is everything we give a religious color or a caste color, and we say this is our custom, this is our age-old practices, etc. And therefore we don't give that enough freedom for the girls to be free. And finally, a lack of aspiration, only because we think that only professional courses are only meant for boys. Most of the girls are not allowed to get into some important jobs, etc. And we have some steps to be taken. I feel that we need to look at this very seriously. Girls' education must be important. At least we must target, like, there is 17 SDGs. One of them is that the equality and equal opportunity for all. Gender discrimination has to be abolished, etc. I think we need to look into these very seriously and implement in our country's policies and programs. Now, one of the things we must know, education must be given a little more freely. For example, accessibility has to be given to everybody, and also the low cost education must be given to all, so that the girls will be free, getting more education. I think in the Punjab government and Kerala government and Delhi government, Andhra government, etc., are trying in that direction. Kerala has already, many years ago, it has been implemented. That is why Kerala girls are everywhere you will find, because they are getting educated, they got dignity. When you have education, you get dignity also. So therefore, that is one of the important aspects the country must look into, and the schools must be established near their habitat, near their villages, etc., so that they need not walk too far in a very difficult situations like ours. Parents and community need to fully convinced of the need for girls' education. I think we need to give more awareness, more education to the parents, counseling to the parents, etc., so that the parents will not discriminate their own children, give them best education to the girls also. And we need to we must give women literacy. Literacy is very important for them to understand their own needs and their own qualitative improvement. And community leaders must take care of this. For example, we have this decentralized ways of functioning in the villages and panchayats, etc. They must give more importance to this girls' education as a priority, and policy makers must look into, and policies must be made on the basis of this equality which is necessary. We have Indian government taken some important steps earlier. We know, all of us know this. For example, the Kothari Commission very clearly says that girls' education must be a priority for the nation. We also have Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which started, and as part of that one, we have the Mahila Samokhya program, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme, National Program for Education for Girls in elementary level, etc., has been introduced because in order to help the girls' education. And finally, I stop it here by saying only a handful of people have actually realized the importance of educating girls today. That has to change, and majority of the people, in fact, all of us must understand the need for girls' education. Secondly, educated girls can brighten the future of their country by a good upbringing of their children. Education gives a woman a freedom of thought. It broadens her outlook and makes her aware of her duties and responsibilities. There is a very famous novel written by Virginia Woolf. She says, a room of one's own, which explains why these indiscriminatory practices continue in a society. It is because women are not allowed to get educated, women are not allowed to work, women are not allowed to earn. As far as you don't earn, you will be dependent on somebody, either the father or the husband or the son. When you earn something, you have an independence. At least you will feel that you are interdependent. They also are dependent on us, we also are dependent on them. So that aspect has to come. Virginia Woolf's novel is very, very good eye-opener for all of us. A room of one's own we must create. And finally, the progress of a country depends on girls' education. So girls' education should be encouraged. All of us must be part of this important aspect of giving girls the best education in this country. We work towards that one as educators and try to influence the policy makers so that our girls will be an asset to our nation, and they will be the future players in our nation building. Thank you very much. God bless you, all of you.